It's time for another episode of Self-Care Revolution. Now, if you're not already following me on the podcast, definitely look for me on Spotify and Apple, okay? It's called The Self-Care Revolution, all right? So today's episode is, y'all know I like to watch interviews. I like to watch dialogue between, various people, right? And one of the channels that I watch a lot is the Social Proof Podcast. So first of all, if you're not already following the Social Proof Podcast, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you definitely want to follow them, especially if you're an entrepreneur, because they have so many videos with just information in it that like you just got to follow them. And then they do a bunch of other things as well. David has a podcast called The Hot Seat. Now that one is interesting because it's strictly for entrepreneurs, and he basically puts them in the hot seat. So they get, grilled in a sense, questioned about their business, and things like that, but they get help because they're working through some of these issues of why their business is not, doing what they want it to do, or whatever the case may be. But it's always very interesting. All right. But anyway, that's a podcast that I watch a lot. All right. I actually had the chance to meet both of them in person, and it was an awesome experience as well. But anyway, what I want to talk about is one of their most recent episodes within the last few weeks was with Dr. Spirit. Now, Dr. Spirit's name is Spirit, right? But I think that kind of gives a connotation that she's not a real doctor. So I don't know why that is the case, but she's definitely a well-degreed, educated doctor. Okay, she's the psychologist, she's the therapist, and she has a unique way of approaching, the therapy that she provides. But she did go through her credentials on this episode. But yeah, her name is Dr. Spirit. I saw her on Hardly Initiated recently as well. But you definitely have to check out this video because Dave and Donni were very transparent about, the questions they were asking her, and it was such a relatable episode, I thought, because some of the things that they talked about, I definitely resonated with. So I'm sure that a lot of other people did as well, especially if you're an entrepreneur. So definitely give that episode a look. But what I like to do over here is I like to come and talk about episodes of podcasts kind of like this one. It could be interviews or anything, right, that I find interesting that I want to share with you guys. So I'm sharing this with you guys so that you guys can go watch. But I'm going to share my 3 takeaways from watching this episode, okay? Now, the very first takeaway I have is that self-love is crucial, all right? And you guys, if you already follow my channel, you should know that, yes, we're all about self-care over here, and self-love and nurturing your mind, body, and spirit, all right? And so that's one of the unique things about Dr. Spirit is she has a holistic approach to her therapy, and she believes that mind, body, and spirit are all interconnected, okay? And so one of my takeaways was that self-love is crucial, all right? My next takeaway, speaking of mind, body, and spirit, is that you should have actions that touch on mental, physical, and spiritual in your morning routine. I would even add emotional to that as well, but definitely something for the mental, something for you spiritually, and something physically in your morning routine, because let's just face it, whatever you have planned out in the world, you're not going to be able to do it if you are not okay. So like your most important job all day, every day, for real, is just to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. You know what I mean? And that leads into what my third takeaway was, because how you feel dictates whatever you're going to do. And a lot of people like to ignore their feelings, but they're really not ignoring them because, and this is my third takeaway, that our feelings are directly connected to the action that we take or don't take. And so, like, the sooner we realize that, the sooner we can help ourselves. You know what I mean? Everybody's a work in progress. And so that was just my third takeaway from that episode, okay? So I encourage you also go watch it. If you like to watch interesting conversations and learn a little bit at the same time, definitely go check them out. You will not be disappointed. My overall thoughts about that episode was that I only gave you 3 takeaways, but they talked about so much, okay? And they gave so many, like, relatable examples. I felt like I was right there in the room because I could relate to a lot of it, okay? So definitely give it a watch. So, you know, that was my overall takeaway. And then there was like different like strategies that Dr. Spirit shared, and they also were talking about the feelings wheel. Now, I don't know if you know what a feelings wheel is, but a lot of people are introduced to it in therapy, or sometimes, you know, kids will be introduced to it. But there's a website that she had Donni pull up, and it's called feelingswheel.com. Basically, it's a way to help people identify the feeling that they're feeling, okay? So that they can process it. And so anyway, so that's just one of the helpful tools that she shared, but definitely give the episode a watch for more. But that's all I have for today's video. I just wanted to come and discuss that because that's right up my alley, okay? Because we're always talking about how we feel spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally, okay? It was right up my alley. So, like I said, the most important thing that you have to do each day is take care of you. So I hope you guys are doing well. Get in the comments below. Let me know, did you go watch the episode? Have you heard of Dr. Spirit before? Because I have been following her for a long time, but I just recently started to see her out here, talking. But she does also have a podcast. I think she does something weekly. She answers questions live. But anyway, that's all I'll say. Get in the comments below. Let me know what you thought about this video. And if you want to see more content like this, definitely let me know that as well. I'll see you guys in another video. Peace.